Amid the astonished cries echoing through the crowd, John Habwa's gaze turned razor-sharp as it locked onto the puppets below. His fingers moved in a flash, forming a precise hand seal. In that instant, the 24 water swords surged in speed, accelerating far beyond their previous limit. Like a violent tempest descending from the heavens, they rained down upon the mechanical puppets. The blades whirled like living spirits, weaving endless afterimages that intertwined into a dense lattice of blue light. To any observer, it seemed as though hundreds, no, thousands of swords were striking at once. Outside the cave dwelling, every cultivator stood frozen in shock, their hearts pounding uncontrollably. Is John Habwa truly only at mid-stage Chi refinement? What cultivation method is this? His strength is beyond belief. They say he only began cultivating a year ago. This is a once-in-a-generation genius. Suddenly, a voice rang out from the crowd. Fellow Taoists, now is the time. The puppets are completely suppressed. This is our chance to seize the opportunities within the cave dwelling. Instantly, excitement surged, and the crowd grew restless with greed and anticipation. At that moment, a burly cultivator shook his head slowly. I disagree. Brother Shang's technique is indeed terrifying, but it must consume an immense amount of vital energy. It cannot be sustained for long. I fear he won't even last as long as he did before. The crowd fell silent at his words, thinking it over before nodding one after another. Lefan, however, kept his gaze fixed on Zhang Hao's image reflected in the watery screen. His brows slightly furrowed, he recognized the move just unleashed. It was a killing technique from the sea-calming sword art, Water Dragon's Roar, an extraordinarily formidable technique. Yet such a technique required a tremendous expenditure of spiritual power to maintain, something normally achievable only by cultivators at the Foundation establishment realm. Bailey Chen, who had also reached mid-stage Chi refinement, and mastered the full sea-calming sword art, had been completely unable to perform this move. What troubled Lefan was this. Although Zhang Habwa's talent far surpassed Bailey Chen's, he was still only at mid-stage Chi refinement. This technique, Water Dragon's Roar, simply should not be sustainable for long, and yet, Zhang Habwa's expression was calm and unwavering, as if he held absolute confidence that his spiritual power would not run dry. Why? Just as Lefan was immersed in thought, he suddenly sensed something unusual. His expression shifted slightly as his gaze swept across the surroundings. Deep within the ocean, countless tiny blue lights gathered from every direction, converging toward Tian Yang's cave dwelling. Lefan reached out and caught one of the glowing specks in his palm. Pure water attributed spiritual Qi. In that moment, realization struck him. Without hesitation, he made his decision, activating the Shadow Stalk art. His figure blurred into a phantom as he shot directly into the volcanic vent. Meanwhile, the others were still marveling at the growing number of blue lights. At last, someone understood and cried out in astonishment. Water spirit body. Zhang Habwa actually possesses a water spirit body. Now I understand. Those with such a physique have an innate affinity with spiritual Qi. As long as he stands above this vast sea, he will never need to worry about depletion, no matter how quickly he consumes it. The surrounding water-attributed Qi will replenish him instantly. Charge, fellow Taoists. The Qi refinement cultivators, now fully awakened to the situation, surged forward after Lefan, plunging into the volcanic vent in a desperate scramble for opportunity. Lefan, already a step ahead, had passed through the lava and entered Tian Yang's cave dwelling. Weaving through the battlefield between Zhang Habwa and the puppets, he extended his divine sense, searching for any trace of He Zhenghao's remains. But after multiple fierce battles, the area had become a chaotic ruin. The full-force assault of 17 nascent soul-level mechanical puppets was nothing short of terrifying. Lefan's eyelids twitched at the sight. Hearing the others rapidly approaching from behind, he did not hesitate. He swiftly gathered every piece of debris he could find. At that moment, an ancient mechanical voice suddenly echoed through the cavern. Tian Yang. Lefan froze, a sense of unease rising within him. Turning toward the source, he saw one of the mechanical puppets. Though suppressed by the Water Dragon's Roar, the dark red puppets appeared to be undergoing a strange transformation. Rage gathered within their cores like a volcano awakening after millennia of slumber. Cracks spread across their bodies, revealing a sinister darkness beneath. The fractures multiplied rapidly. like porcelain on the verge of shattering. Under the relentless force of Water Dragon's roar, the puppets, said to possess nascent soul-level strength, shattered one after another, breaking apart like fragile vessels into countless fragments. Every cultivator present was left in utter shock. How could this be? Were these puppets nothing more than hollow shells? Or was Zhang Haobo, who appeared to be only at Qi refinement, actually a hidden powerhouse? Zhang Haobo himself stared blankly at the scene. Amid the deathly silence, every fragment began to tremble. Weaker. The mechanical voice echoed once more, this time from every fragment simultaneously. Tens of thousands of voices merged into one, reverberating throughout the cave. Then, amid the eerie chorus, the black and crimson fragments quivered, shifting and gathering together as if alive. A powerful sense of danger screamed within Lefan's heart. Without hesitation, he accelerated, rushing toward the exit of the cave dwelling. As he passed the still stunned Zhang Haobo, he altered his trajectory slightly and grabbed him. "Fellow Taoist Zhang, we must retreat." To prevent resistance, Lefan instantly activated his insect-binding divine ability, immobilizing him. Zhang Haobo, still reeling from the bizarre transformation of the fragments, suddenly found his body completely paralyzed. Panic surged within him, but hearing Lefan's words, he felt a small measure of reassurance. Anyone. Amid a cacophony of grinding and crushing sounds, the fragments slowly fused into a single entity. As the fragments fully reassembled, a massive black hand streaked with cracks appeared before the crowd. Within the fissures, a dazzling yet sinister crimson light swirled. From it erupted a furious mechanical roar. Tian Yang is not weaker than others. Lefan fled at full speed, finally reaching a safe distance with Zhang Haobo. Turning back to look at the raging earth fire, lingering fear gripped his heart. That was close, it almost ruined everything. Heaven and earth trembled violently, and the entire Tsongyan Sea convulsed as if seized by spasms. Beginning from Tian Yang's cave dwelling, underwater volcanoes erupted one after another, ash plumes bursting forth like signals of catastrophe. Amidst this apocalyptic scene, the puppet's furious roar drowned even the volcanic eruptions. Tian Yang is not weaker than others. A mechanical puppet, buried deep within the earth's veins for thousands of years, continuously absorbing and tempering itself with earth-fire energy, tore through layers of underwater mountains and rose from the sea. Towering between heaven and earth, it roared with unyielding pride. After stabilizing its footing, the Tian Yang puppet turned its head slightly, its eyes glowing with an eerie crimson light. Before striding toward Myriad Immortals Island. Suddenly, the sky darkened without warning. The colossal puppet halted, lifting its head. At the same time, a cold voice tinged with killing intent echoed across the heavens. "Fellow Taoists, halt!" Out of nowhere, an inverted mountain, dozens of times larger than the puppet, appeared directly above it. Its peak, sharp like a drill, descended straight downward. With defiant fury, the Tian Yang puppet roared and thrust both arms upward. The two collided violently. The puppet's legs buckled, its feet sinking deep into the seabed. Dark red light surged across its body, growing ever brighter until it outshone even the sun. It glared upward at the inverted mountain, madness and defiance blazing within its eyes. Amid groaning and creaking, its bent body slowly straightened. Bit by bit, the immense mountain was forced upward. A cold snort echoed through heaven and earth. On the surface of the inverted mountain, faint silhouettes of additional peaks emerged, forming a profound formation. A vast and majestic aura descended instantly. The weight of the mountain multiplied severalfold. Everything below the puppet's head was slammed beneath the sea. The surrounding waters exploded outward, forming massive waves that spread in all directions. Under the overwhelming pressure, the earth itself was ground away. The puppet's lower limbs were crushed bit by bit, until only its upper body remained, straining desperately. Total defeat loomed, not weaker than others. Yet it continued repeating those words over and over. After several repetitions, only its head remained. Pressed against the base of the mountain, its eyes burned with fury. Its head suddenly exploded, transforming into molten crimson rock. Deep within the Tsongyan Sea, the earth fire veins erupted once more with a deafening roar. The molten rock that had once formed the puppet gathered together again, reshaping into a blazing figure. This newly reborn Tianyang puppet burned with raging flames. Like a fire dragon, it charged toward the inverted mountain. It drilled into the mountain from its inverted peak, piercing through the massive rock. Explosions rang out without end as cracks spread across the mountain's surface. At last, the fire dragon burst out from the base, shattering the mountain from within and soaring into the sky with a defiant roar. However, the inverted mountain reformed once more. The puppet and the mountain clashed fiercely, either yielding. A mysterious voice echoed again. Interesting, truly worthy of being the inheritor of the embodiment transformation Tao sect of ancient times, to have reached such power after thousands of years with only golden core potential. Provoked by those words, only golden core potential, the Tianyang puppet roared again, issuing a direct challenge to the spectral mountains. Heaven and earth suddenly darkened, as though the sky itself had been torn open, revealing scattered stars beyond. Then, a languid female voice drifted down. If you wish to fight, let us change the battlefield.